Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jules, here for WhatCulture Gaming, joined by my son, Ewan. Hello, my man. It's been a long time since we've seen each other.
Mic, yeah.
And if we're together, it can mean only one thing. Yes, that's right, it's 2019, so it's time for some Double Man news. So let's hit that intro.
Looks like there's news a-brewing. Guess it's time for Jules' new win.
Yes, mate! And we're back in the room.
Oh my God, I've missed it. The restorative effects of that jingle.
What can I say? The Lord giveth, and then he giveth more. But also, the Lord taketh awayeth, because we're actually talking about objections that people have got. Got the mug joke in there early.
Really good.
About loot boxes, because you might have been following this last year. There was a lot of shady practices going on with certain companies using loot boxes, and it sparked a huge investigation in some countries, which we'll go into a bit more detail in a minute. And now we actually have the verdict as to what Belgium is going to be doing about the loot boxes, or more specifically, about EA's loot boxes.
Yeah, so if you've been keeping up with the loot box catastrophe thing, then
catastrophe is the right word.
Yeah, you'll know that Belgium hasn't been too keen on loot boxes. In the last year, they ruled it. They effectively declared it an illegal form of gambling because these games in Europe, the ratings board is called PEGI. You have PEGI games that are 3, 12, 7, whatever. They're rated different things. And obviously, if a game is gambling, that effectively makes it an adult game, which means it'll be an 18. Now, Overwatch and Counter-Strike and stuff, they aren't 18 rated games. They're 16 or something like that, which makes them, you know, they don't comply with European law. And as a response, when Belgium had that ruling, both Blizzard and 2K and a few other publishers as well, they got rid of loot boxes from the Belgian stores from their games, which is fair enough. EA, personified here by Gary Oldman's Dracula, decided not to do that and kept them in. And if you're familiar with EA, you'll know that their biggest kind of annual moneymaker is FIFA Ultimate Team. That beastie thing makes like $1 billion every single year.
It's an ungodly amount of money.
And basically what they have is you have a pack, and you can accumulate credits in game to get a pack, and you can get your own player, and certain packs will get you a better player. And if you choose to dabble in the dark arts and spend your own hard-earned dollar on that, you can get better players. And so obviously people in the community aren't fans of it either.
No.
And then you have the whole ethical thing, but now EA have finally decided to actually get rid of them in Belgium.
Well, the thing is that there are some companies that responded to this sort of investigation that was going on by just saying, right, fine, what we'll do is we'll release the percentage numbers of what drop rates they're going to be in there, because then it's not gambling when you make people aware of what their actual chances of winning are. Gambling, I assume in their terminology, is that you just don't know what you're going to get or whatever, but at least that's how they try to get around it. But EA actually saying, okay, fine, you've caught us, we've tried to run this well dry for as long as possible, we're gonna take them off now, is actually a big step. It is a huge step. I mean, it's been countered by the fact that also this week they started charging 20 quid for skins for Anthem. And
that's not an anthem I want to sing.
And also they're charging $20 for a steelbook for Anthem as well. That I was saying about yesterday in the podcast.
You were. But yeah, the statement itself is really, really, really mad. So just
Can you read it as Dracula, just so that it feels like it's actually from EA?
After further discussions with the Belgian authorities, we have decided to stop offering FIFA points for sale in Belgium. And then they go into the statement continues. We seek to bring choice, fairness, value, and fun to our players in all our games. It's a bit of a lie, isn't it? In addition to providing players options to how they play, we include pack probabilities in our games. The transparency players want to make informed content choices. While we are taking this action, we do not agree with the Belgian authorities' interpretation of the law. Weird flex, but okay. And we will continue to seek more clarity on the matter as we go forward. But you know what the best part of the statement is?
Right,
the ending bit where they say it is not material to EA's financial performance. What? So what's the point of having it in the first place then? That's the whole stupid thing.
Because that highlights the entire greedy thing of it. And it is greed, because it is basically going above and beyond. They've made back the cost of their game, they've made profit, and now it's just excessive amounts of profits that get made. For them to just stand there and be like, yeah, actually it's fine, you know, take them away, it doesn't actually affect our bottom line whatsoever. And yet you've got companies like Activision, Blizzard, who were saying a couple of months ago that it was an essential business practice for them to have loot boxes to recap it, while at the same time giving money to their new CEO as a bonus for signing on. It is mad. Scott and I covered this last week where we were talking about just the sheer amount of greed that drips from every sort of AAA publisher. It is great to see somebody being held to task, and EA you've run out of the good graces. Like, I was watching Angry Joe talking about the skin thing that was going on with Anthem this morning, and he said EA has run out of good graces, and I echo that statement because of the fact that they're being finally held accountable, and for them to just be like, yeah, whatever. You know, we got as much money out of it as possible.
That statement like, at the end, I feel as though it is an attempt to kind of just.
It's such a pissy way
It's very
of
arrogant. It's very arrogant. But at the same time, you know, if it isn't consequential to you, and the frustrating thing of this is that we know how expensive game production is. We know that publishers and studios have to justify the cost of their games. They have to keep players retained and coming back and coming back. Microtransactions are a part of the landscape now, and that's something we have to deal with. But loot boxes in their current form, they just have to apply to law. They can't put themselves above the law, because a game of chance will always be gambling, especially if you can put your own money into it.
I think that it boils down to something that's so obvious. It screams out as like this is the way things should be. Loot boxes should not exist. The whole gambling concept of it, while some might find it fun, it is a predatory system. However you look at it, whether it's cosmetics or not, because you are holding something at arm's length, saying that you might get it. I understand why it's come in, but if you listed out every single item that you could get and just put a small price tag next to it, I have no problem with that, because it is choice. It is up to the person buying it to say, I would like that skin, I don't want that skin. Imagine playing through a game like Overwatch or Rainbow Six and just being like, I have played this now for 60 hours and I still do not have the one skin I would actually buy that for $1 now.
You know what the worst thing is?
What?
There have been videos of people playing FIFA Ultimate Team and they've spent like mad money. So there was this guy, one of my friends sent me this the other day, who spent £13,000 and still didn't, just for like a video, like he's a big YouTuber or whatever, but he did this thing, he spent that much money on it and he still didn't have a team comprised of all the best players in the game.
My God, right, that's a problem then.
Exactly,
That is a problem.
Absolutely bonkers.
I mean, especially when it's considered that it's football,
Yeah.
UK football, where you literally do buy the best people with stupid amounts of money.
The really frustrating thing as well for people who play FIFA, I know we don't really talk about it that much on the channel, but there are certain certain communities on that game who really love stuff like career mode, other different things, and because EA makes so much money from Ultimate Team, every single year a new FIFA game comes out, they can effectively look at those modes and go, well, we'll see, you're just going to focus on Ultimate Team because it makes us all the much money.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Because it's like it's influencing the way that games are made. If we boil this down though, it is not up to the consumer to pay the company cost. It is not up to us to make sure that your game sells well enough to justify how much money you put into it. That is the developer's choice from the start. You have seen games that have been made on a shoestring budget sell millions, and ones that have cost millions to make sell absolute butt kiss. It is not up to us to basically fuel that. What we can do is speak with our wallets and say, hey look, we'll buy your game if it's good and well made. I don't care necessarily how much money you've invested into your puddle physics or whatever. But you know what, don't tell me what the loot box thing, it really winds me up. It's one of the few things that really like gets my goat, because it's just like...
Your goat? Is he okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's there locked up in the pen.
Actually, no, he doesn't look particularly happy.
Well, I haven't fed him in a while, but that's on me.
There we go.
That's on me. That's my predatory system.
That's exactly. I mean, I thought your speech was on Independence Day level quality then, until the little tangent about the goat.
I don't know. I get really wound up about this, because I feel like it's another thing that's masquerading as choice, but it's not a choice.
Yeah, spot on.
Nah. So yeah, let us know what you think about this down in the comments section below. Whether or not you are actually, I don't know, excited to see that loot boxes from EA, especially in this game such as FIFA, are going on the way out, or are you worried that they're going to be replaced with another, more predatory system in some form, like, I don't know, maybe they'll put it behind skill levels that can only be done if you buy it in a different way. They'll be, like, you know, they'll come up with a way of doing it. There won't ever be a bit without the roulette wheel spinning, you know what I mean?
I came in here with such optimism, thinking that this would be the tidal wave, the domino effect that crashes the loot box cabal down, and now you've gone.
I'm saying it's a great start. I'm saying that it will actually, hopefully, bring other people to task as well, other developers, because there are other developers outside of EA that do these shady practices and still get away with it. EA is literally turning into the scapegoat. I mean, they've got deep enough wallets to take a few hits for the team, but I'm just hoping that it comes out the other side the better for everyone else. That's what I'm really hoping for. So yeah, we will end on a happier note of hope and prosperity. So thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jules. You can follow me at RetroJ with a 0 over on Twitter. This is Ewan. You can follow him at
Ewan Ruins Things.
You have been awesome. Never forget that. Leave us your comments down below what you think about the current situation of loot boxes and their banning, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye. I did the point thing and then the wave.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bow, bow, bow.
bye.